everyone. Live at the farm, Smashing Plastic Podcast with my buddy, friend, pal, Noah Winningham. Noah, introduce yourself to the world and tell these people that are in Minnesota, all over the world, who you are.
Hi, my name's Noah Winningham. I'm 26.
26.
I've been playing pickleball now for a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. The reason I started playing pickleball, me and my friend went to the bag cages, and the field just flooded. He was like, hey, you want to come to Midtown and just play this game called pickleball? I'm like, no way. I saw old ladies playing it. I'm not doing it. And, of course, there's nothing else for to do, so we went there, and we played these two old ladies who just smoked us.
Clapped you.
Completely clapped. Didn't score a point. After that, I'm like, okay, I was hooked. I'm like, I have to get good.
Wow. So there's a lot to unpack there. So you have you're 2 years into pickle. Mm-hmm. 2 years into pickle. Batting cage. So I'm assuming then you have no racket background. You are a baseball guy.
No, just baseball.
So that makes this conversation, as you well know, going to be extremely fun because I, too, am a baseball guy. So let me first and foremost introduce our folks to who you are. So Noah, you and I met each other literally about 2 years ago, you would say, right? Realistically. Right. Doty Park, we bump into each other, play a little bit with each other, rapidly become friends and play a lot together. Now you and I literally probably just about daily play together somehow. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you a little kudos. Noah, and this is truth, is probably one of the better players in Charleston at this time. So he went from, I don't know what pickle is, and I don't want to play with old ladies, to now you are literally known as one of the top 5 players in Charleston. What I want to know, and what people that are driving, shout out to Mike, driving a truck right now, probably to Ohio, how? Like that little small gap of 2 years, of course you're athletic. People can look on, camera right now and see that you're a stud, but there's more to it than athleticism, right?
Right.
Walk us through that on what it took and what it's still taking, because you and I work on this daily, but what is it taking for you to go from, I don't know what a pickleball is, to I'm one of the best players in Charleston?
Honestly, you just still have to have fun.
Like, you gotta have fun.
Since day one, it was a blast playing.
Okay.
You have to have fun with everything, whether it's drilling, play with people, just interacting with them on the pickleball court. It's just drilling constantly.
So I will attest, you are a we'll even use the word religious driller. You will daily drill on what? What are you drilling so these people know what you're working on?
It really depends on the day. Sometimes I just like to work on specific shots, like maybe it's like a flick, a roll, maybe a drop shot.
Okay.
Sometimes it's heads, but every day that I do drill is probably the same 4 days. I constantly work on heads because I feel like right now that's the most important thing about the game.
It's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And drops and drives.
Okay.
It just cross-court dinks.
So we're talking hands, cross-court drives, drops, and dinks. Those are the 4 main categories that you feel like that if you drill and you can consistently nail those 4 things, you are becoming a better pickleball player.
Yeah.
As a coach, I will say I agree. Those are probably, and they're all 4 things that anybody, whether they are a very, very first beginner, they do not know what a pickleball is, all the way up to Anderson Scarpa, who's on the MLP tour chasing down a title. I promise you, he's working on those same things. You agree?
Agree. 100%.
So then my next question is going to lead into this. How and what do you look like, and what does your future look like for you in this pickle goal of yours? Do you have any specifics? Are you entertaining doing anything with this, or is this truly just a passionate hobby that you like playing?
I honestly want to be a top 5 pro.
Okay. You want to be a top 5 pro?
Yes. I want to be able to do that also with the guy I drill a lot with and play a lot with, Wesley Eads.
Eads.
Yeah. I want both of us to be top pros.
Professional pickleball players.
Professional pickleball players.
So what do you do right now, Noah, for a profession so that these folks know what you do?
Right now, I went back to school. Okay. I'm getting my bachelor's in nursing right now.
So you are a student. You're in the nursing program. I'm assuming you do some sort of nursing for finances and that kind of stuff right now on the side or whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. But you are literally like, hey, I'm 26 years old. If I'm going to do this thing, this is when I have to do this thing.
Right.
Which then puts not just stress and pressure, but realistically, you're not married. You're single right now, right?
Right.
Shout out. Hey, listen, just throwing it out there. But you don't have kids. You don't have the baggage. When I say baggage, you don't have big responsibilities that you have to worry about feeding right now in your life. So if there was ever a time that you can put, I would say, the gas pedal down to chase that dream of going pro, now is your time, right?
Right.
So now that leads me to, what do you feel like is the biggest thing that you do now differently than you did, say, 2 years ago when it comes to pickle, of making sure that you are, we'll call it fine-tuned for playing? Is there anything different that you do now that you did 2 years ago?
Honestly, I watch videos of me playing. Like, I dissect my game very well, whether it's a good play or a bad play. Just decided like what went well there, that why. It like mostly dissected like shot selections.
So you're literally now, are you handling the video of your footage of your games, or are you having somebody video for you, or is this from like tournaments that we'll have, like for instance here at at the farm when we do events, we video. So what are you looking at? How do you get that content?
Usually the people I play with, like was like more to this game, someone's recorded them.
Okay.
I'll just get them to send it to me.
So then you just literally at night, you get out the shower, you grab a taco burrito, you sit down on your couch, your love seat, and you're literally dissecting what you're doing on your video play.
Right.
Do you think that other sports do that same thing?
Of course, yeah.
100%, right? Mm-hmm. But for some reason in pickle, because, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, like you said earlier, it's a fun game that we can pick up and you can get to where you're hitting the ball back and forth very, very quickly. But I would agree, since we can take this conversation up to like next level, because this is what you're aiming to do, to be professional, it takes that kind of detail, right? Because one foot out of placement, one bad transition, one bad drop when you should have drove, or vice versa. Hey, why did I drive that instead of drop that? That's the kind of stuff that you're looking at to critique right now.
Right.
I love that. I think that as a coach, one of the things that you can do, that you guys are listening, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Now, we all now live in the world where we have, an amazing device in our pocket that you can put up on a tripod and record you playing even your recreational match, so you can see what we see, right? Or what the player that you're playing against sees. Okay. Give us some stories on, what do you think right now about technology paddles? Who are you playing with? Is there a shout out to anybody that we need to do? I want to know from Noah, what are you looking at right now when it comes to equipment, seeing that you're trying to legitimately become a top 5 player?
Honestly, for me, I play with the Enerbright 3S Scorpius. I just like it because the pop is crazy. Like I said, like at the kitchen, I feel like where all the points are won.
Sure.
And I feel like the head speed there, the pop from it that you get is just crazy. I feel like my heads and my back head counter is the best part of my game, and I feel like it fits very well.
So you are more concerned with your pop and your power at the kitchen line as opposed to big drives at the baseline.
Yeah.
So you feel like if you've got a paddle that allows you to have that put away, we'll call it put away, right? The counter put away at the line, that's kind of the equipment that you're looking for right now.
Right.
Is that different, Noah, than it was 2 years ago?
Yes. I feel like the technology skyrocketed. How powerful paddles are right now are kind of nuts. I felt like in the past year, like every 2 to 3 months, someone would drop like a new paddles that were like way better than everything else on the market.
Right.
And right now, I feel like Yola paddles are really hot in Gearbox.
Gotcha. So those are the two brands right now that are kind of leading, and I think everybody can attest. We are now, and we're knocking on March already, right? We're at February, yeah. So we're knocking on March of 2025. Right now, Yola and Gearbox, you think, have the hottest quote unquote paddles that are on market right now, and that definitely seems to be the trend that everybody's chasing, because, like we've said, you can go to a recreational municipality court right now. Nobody that's ever touched a paddle can pick up a paddle and they can hit a ball by you with that paddle.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. We are live at Funville Farm, home of Smashing Plastic Pickleball HQ. Behind me, you're going to notice our brand new court with fencing, lighting, concrete pad, full seal master system, all completed by first-class painting and restoration. If you are looking for a home court, or if you are a municipality, or you're a school, or you need a court done, call First Class Painting and Restoration. They are your go-to for getting any of your court stuff done. With that being said, the home of Smashing Plastic Pickleball, aka Funville Farm, will have clinics, camps, personal one-on-one lessons, group lessons, and most importantly and most fun, we will have weekend events. Cannot wait to see you live at Smashing Plastic Pickleball in Summerville, South Carolina. Whereas 2 years ago,
No.
Yeah, I would agree. And I've been this now almost 4 years, and me coaching students in 2020 as opposed to coaching students now, just based on equipment, is literally 180 degrees different than it was 4 years ago. It's night and day.
100% agree.
Okay, ball. Is there a particular ball, that you like, that you don't like, that you want to talk about? Anything that is there a big difference for you when you're looking at pickleballs that you're playing with?
Most of them are kind of the same. Honestly, the Franklins are really soft. I don't like it, but I tried to use the Vulcans just because they are what used in PPA tournaments. Yeah.
I like the Vulcans. I think the color, I really do like the color of the Vulcans, and I will say they are better now than they were. I still think every once in a while they'll out of shape more than what we want. But the Franklins, I'm like you, they'll hold their shape, but they are soft. But I will say this, as a coach, and especially recreational play, I kind of enjoy it because it's harder to put the ball away, and you get a chance to hit the ball more. You know what I mean? As opposed to there's another ball by us, and now we got to run this down and start all over again. So I do like the fact that the Franklin allows us to play more. But if you're out there and you're listening, drop us a comment what your favorite ball is. I just like to know details on that kind of stuff. So when we run our events and we're in tournaments, I like to know what ball people are liking to play with. All right, partner-wise. Talk to us about partners. How important, Noah Winningham, is partnership in the beloved world of pickleball?
Honestly, very important. You need to find someone who has the same goal as you, same mentality, but also who likes to have fun and don't take it too seriously. Because you're gonna have games where you suck.
You just bona fide cannot find it.
Right. And you need someone to pick you up and not huff and puff every time you miss a ball to the net.
Yeah. The huff and puff partner.
Yeah, the huff and puff partner.
Yeah, we name them. Yeah, we have them. We've all had them. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt. No thanks, right? No huff and puff. Mixed. Do you play mixed? And walk me through and walk the person that is listening to you right now. When you are looking for a lady partner, is it the same thing there, or do you feel like the relationship's different when you're the dude, that's the chick? How does that look like right now?
So I'm probably a special case. Cause I know mostly a mix. The guy plays the left.
Right.
I play right all the time, mix.
Even in mix, you play right?
I do. I get yelled at it by Jake a lot, but it's okay.
Right.
I try to find a girl that is still the same premise, like to have a whoa huff and puff, but also likes to play left side, who likes to probably be a little bit more dominant, be the aggressor.
So you like to find somebody that actually likes to hit it, you know what I mean? That has a good forehand probably, right? Like a legitimate lady that enjoys hitting a good forehand. But you prefer the right side.
Right.
Which is really odd because if you don't know Noah, and you can see him on camera right now, Noah is a very agile, very athletic baseball kid who's got great legs, great feet. And the most important aspect that I see that I like from Noah when I play him is and this is a baseball thing, but you anticipate, right? Like you anticipate like an outfielder, a shortstop, like you know where the ball's going. And it puts a real big advantage in your favor to where you put a lot of pressure on who you're playing just because you're already there. Even on the right side, I'm assuming you're having to find ways to do that with your mixed partner, though, correct?
Right, just be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I like it. I think I'm like you. If trying to find a legitimate right side dude that loves the right side is not an easy thing to do. So you're probably in high demand for a partner.
Yeah, most guys do not like play right. They all like play left because it's the more quote unquote dominant position.
Right. You get to take more of the court, but also it's everything's playing to your forehand. That's interesting. I didn't realize that you play both right with female and male. So that definitely but you don't have a whole lot of transition then when you start changing, right? When you're playing that tournament, you're staying on the right side, whether you're with me or you're with Anna, you're staying on the right side. So it's very easy for you to lock in on there. Do you feel like you're a better right side player than left side player? Are you uncomfortable on the left at all?
Yeah, I do not like the left at all.
You do not like the left?
No, I feel very uncomfortable. Like, I feel like when I'm on the right, I can see stuff better, like set up the person on the left more.
Okay.
Especially like when Wes is on the left, I know what he's going to do. Right. So I can already be there to fill the gap.
I think that's something that we can talk about that we haven't talked about before on the pod is literally knowing the differences between the right and the left. Because as you're introducing yourself to pickleball, you're rotating, right? You're doing this rotation to where, we call it the pickleball dance. But you also can get to where you get a little bit more advanced where you can do things like stack. You know what I mean? And can you talk, we're going to put our coach Noah hat on. Can you walk us through a simple definition of what stacking is so that people know what you're talking about when that comes to that?
Yeah, so stacking is no matter if you're offense or defense, you're always stay either on the left or right side.
Okay.
For offense, it's a little easier. All you do is just scoot a little bit on the box, and then you just hop to either the left or right side, depending on what side you want to stack on.
Right.
When you're a defense, it's a little bit more tricky because one person's up, and usually they would either hold an open head side or a closed fist if they want to switch.
Okay.
And usually, if you're the ones returning, you try to keep it deep to the opposite side so the person can go there, because that way it gets tricky because then the other team's trying to unwind the stack, and that when it kind of all goes to crud.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you're having an opportunity where an area of the court is not covered as you're, quote, unwinding the stack, if you're playing good players, then it gives them an opportunity of a window to play into that you don't have anybody on that area of the court. So it's very vital that you have somebody that's understanding that can move quickly, you know what I mean, in those transitions. But basically, in summary, what Noah is stating is you can literally get to this point in this game where if you are predominantly a right side player, you can work it out to where you're always on the right side, and vice versa with the left side. If you feel more comfortable for whatever the reason may be playing on the left side of the of the court, you can always be on the left side of the court. Now, when we play rally scoring, that's very easy because it's different, right? Now, there's no needing for quote unquote stacking. You can always stay on the left and you can always stay on the right. Scoring is very simple. But when you're doing traditional side out scoring, stacking is the ability for you to stay on each side of the court that you desire, that you want to. I like that a lot. I definitely feel like it's a huge advantage for a lot of different players, but also somebody like you, when you can mix and match it up a lot, right? Like you don't know is Noah going to flip right? Is he going to stay on the left? This is getting kind of technical, but I love this because it gives everybody understand that the level of this game can go to whatever level that you want it to be. It can be me and Uncle Johnny from the church playing on Sundays and we're just hitting it back and forth each other, or it can be me and Noah Winningham that are playing whack-a-mole at each other, you know what I mean, as hard as we possibly can on that level as well. It's a really cool sport because there's just so many different levels that you can play it. All right, so you're 26 years old. I've got to ask you this because you're young. One of the young whippersnappers. Not the youngest, though, Sean. Not the youngest whippersnapper that we've had on the show, but you're close. Walk us through the youth movement of pickle and where you see it going. Do you think high school pickleball is coming?
I honestly do. I see college is adapted to it pretty well right now, too. So I give it like 5 years.
Max.
I think every high school is going to have a pickleball team.
I agree. 1,000%. What format would you do you think the funnest aspect of high school pickleball would be? Would you do traditional, just good old-fashioned side out, mixed, men's, doubles, all that? How do you see high school playing out to where, for me, it's interesting because you're going to want more than 4 or 5 people on this team. You know what I mean? So how do we build pickleball in high school to where it is a team event?
What they do right now, like in the MILP, making it that. I feel like every other sport is a team event, mostly. I feel like that's the best way to drive it.
So you feel like whatever the MILP method is that they're doing for teams, that's where you kind of see the high school pickleball going to.
Right. I feel like that's a perfect example. Like they can have a varsity MILP, JV, even B team.
And B team. And then as depending on their age groups or I guess realistically on their skills, because you and I both know there's probably a couple of JV guys that we know that are 15 ninth graders, 8th graders that could probably play varsity pickle. You know what I mean? Like the 12-year-old Ryan, I mean, that dude would be B team. He probably varsity as soon as he's freaking able to do varsity, right? Like he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. So I love that. I think the MILP method is probably what when our facility is official and we have the opportunity to do that, that's probably what we're going to introduce there. And then we will have our high schools participate. It'll most likely start, as everything does, with just club. Like, hey, who do you have at Ashley Ridge that is wanting to play pickle? Who do you have at Summerville that's wanting to play pickle? And then we would literally team them up, hopefully, on their own school teams. And then as it becomes more official, then it's rock on. You know what I mean? Then we have legitimate, bona fide season of MILP that you can actually have standings in leagues and they can play weekly to where, okay, we have a winner at the end of this season. That to me is probably the most exciting thing for me in pickle at this moment, is because I don't think the sport understands how much that's going to make it grow. You agree?
100%.
Yeah, the youth movement in pickle is something that is baby stepping right now, but I do think we're probably a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years max from seeing an absolute rapid explosion into all of the beloved world of things that you and I are very accustomed to, whether it's travel baseball, you now have travel pickleball. It's coming, right? It's legitimately coming.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to put a little cap on you, call you Noah the coach. I need one solid, legitimate, bona fide, greatest tip of the day that you can come up with for, we'll call him Steve in South Dakota. He's driving down the mountain. What is one tip that Noah Winningham, who has gone from a 2-year novice, I mean, literally didn't know what a pickleball was, to now you're on Coach Tommy's podcast with Smashing Plastic and you're staring down trying to figure out how to go pro. What is one tip of the day that you can give these guys to make them a better pickleball player?
Still have fun.
Still have fun.
Keep the game fun. I feel like that what drives me still the most. Like, it's still fun. Go out there every day. It's still fun drill. Like, it makes me want to keep go out and keep getting better. Honestly,
I love it. I figure out, like, at the end of the day, like, if you can't figure out smiling when you're playing pickleball, then something's off somewhere.
Right.
You agree?
100%.
Yeah, it's super. It can get frustrating. You and I have both been there, done it. Got the T-shirt. You know, you play against players. You're playing badly, whatever. Like, it's athletic, right? As soon as you start keeping score, you want to get competitive with it. So the competitive juices happen. Before you know it, you're upset about something that you don't want to be upset about.
Right.
But if you can kind of remember Coach, Noah saying, "Hey, keep it fun." What are some of the things that you do right now, Noah, to keep it fun?
I just love playing rec play where it's not as serious. Maybe go play with people who are lower level and just have fun, because usually the people around like the 3.0, 3.5 level, they do not care about go pro. They don't care about really get better. They're just out there having fun.
Right.
And to me, that's the best thing.
They're getting sunshine in. They're with their buddies. They're with people they haven't seen all week. It's a little bit of escapism from work. You know what I mean? And the daily crap, because we deal with crap. You know what I mean? And to be able to just kind of go see Noah, sip on some coffee and hit a plastic ball could be the highlight of their day.
Right.
And it could be the highlight of your day.
It
you know
is,
what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you just got done going to school, or you're godforsaken changing bedpans, Mr. Nurse, or whatever it is that you're doing. You see me on the pickleball court should be a way to smile. You agree?
Right. 100%.
Yeah. Noah, I cannot thank you enough. This has been absolutely awesome. Now, how do we find you? Like, if we got people that want to know where your journey is and what you're doing, are you on the gram? Are you on Facebook? If somebody wants to follow along with your progress and what you're doing, how do we find you?
I'm on Instagram, Noah Winningham 24.
Noah Winningham 24 on the gram. We'll make sure that we have that in the show notes for you. And dude, I cannot honestly thank you enough for coming to the Smashing Plastic podcast. Do a follow-up with you. Maybe 6 months, a year, see where you're at.
Sounds good.
Hopefully you'll invite us out to the goddamn tour and we can get on MLP court one day or PPA court and we can say, hey, remember when? Yeah, and then it'll be this guy. He's that good. Look him up. Make sure you follow him. Great dude. And again, if you have not liked our Smashing Plastic podcast by now, what are you waiting for? It's the greatest podcast in the history of the world. Go on there and smash that like button. Talk to you guys all soon. Coach Tommy out. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. Thanks for tuning in to Smashing Plastic. Big shout out to Sean Monahan for the music, production, and editing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for more awesome content, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description. Now let's get out there and smash some plastic.